life, because in like schools or in places of work, you can't not surround yourself with people. You're always gonna be in certain communities, so it all just depends on what kinds of communities that you are part of. Thank you.
All right, awesome. So the concept now is a minute to figure out the rebuttal film. All right, time has elapsed. Are you guys ready? Okay, awesome.
So you were talking about the dangers and how it's dangerous to meet people online and in person, but you brought up a point last time where you said you met a person from Boston and you're still keeping the connection going. And I think that the essential thing is, how did you meet that person to get that connection? You met him in person. You met him in person to get that connection, to go that far where you can communicate from Boston to New Jersey on social media. Now you've met him, but like, you don't know if he's changed or anything, so you still might not know all of what's happening with him. But you met him in person to spark that connection, to help him grow, to help your relationship grow and develop. So I think that you should think about how you meet those people that you text online, because you wouldn't have randomly met that person online and sparked such a great connection. Whereas since you met him in person, you know you can trust him and be friends with him and keep talking.
Okay, very, very well said. All right, so now we're gonna go into this final stage of the debate. So each side, I'll give you each 2.5 minutes, all right, to prepare this one final speech. Is gonna be a bit, hopefully a bit longer than the others. So how this speech is gonna work, it should cover your main points, but also cover the counter arguments you make against the opposite side, right? So combine your own original ideas with what you've been saying for the past encounters into like this one big speech, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys 2.5 minutes for each side. We're gonna first start with the pro side, and we're gonna end up with the con side for the debate, okay? Awesome, so 2.5 minutes.
Aaron,
Yeah.
can the audience ask a question?
You wanna ask a question?
Yeah,
To which side?
both sides.
Oh yeah, sure. I've been waiting for an audience question for the entire debate, so yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I want to ask each side a question. You guys can think about it and then answer it in your final speech. So to the pro side, the question is, one of the strongest arguments made against social media is it projects a sense of reality that doesn't exist in real life. Whether it's as simple as making Facebook posts every day that life is this, life is that, where the person might be struggling, or it could be as something prevalent today where you have all Instagram filters and TikTok filters where you project a sense of sense of self that doesn't exist, and for the normal person watching, they always tend to compare, and that's reinforced on a daily basis. And studies have shown that it leads to mostly youth kind of being ashamed about their own self, their own bodies. So how do you suggest you handle that kind of constant reinforcement, which doesn't happen if there is no social media? And for the other side, you talk about a lot of negatives about social media, but one of the things that has happened, especially in the last 15-20 years, is before in my generation, when something happened to somebody, like somebody got sick or somebody passed away, it took days and days to raise funds or raise some assistance for the people to get some money for the survivors. But in the age of social media, it might take like minutes or hours for the person to get relief. So don't you think that is a big advantage of social media, which would not have happened if we don't have the things that we have today?
Okay, so both sides, you heard the questions that were directed towards you. So ideally, you should try to implement answering those questions into your final speech. Okay? So the overall timeline is longer. Like usually speeches are 2 minutes. This will be like 3 to 4 minutes. So just try to incorporate your response to that question as best as possible in the final speech.
I have a statement to make, if I may.
Yeah.
Mic is not working.
Sure. You want to take my mic? Yeah, I can give it to you.
Actually,
social media actually helped in the time of COVID. I think you mentioned during COVID, one of you mentioned COVID. Being in the field of medicine, during this time, social media was very, very helpful to us to get the information that we need in minutes. Because lives would have been changed based on technology and the information we got in changing treatment. At the same time, wrong information and misinformation were also being given out, and wrong treatments were also being implemented, saying that's going to be the best without any valid research behind it. So we have to take both sides very carefully. And that's where the importance of maturity, understanding of what the information you're getting and gathering and implementing. So I think both sides have given very valid reasons. So from a standpoint from mine, where I stand, I would have taken the side of pro, just for COVID times. But other times, I think social media was a distraction because I didn't have time to really pay attention to what was going on in the world. Because COVID was hitting us, we had a pandemic. And it took so much of our energy just to keep up with the literature that was coming to us. At the same time, hearing about sad demises of, people were dying from COVID, made us step back and think, oh, that could have been me, So sometimes social media helps us, and sometimes it can make us isolated and sad. So I think as young people, you'll have to make the final decision what you want to do with that information. And I think it's a great talk, and I really appreciate you giving your thought process. And I look forward to your final thoughts. Thank you.
I will add a comment.
Sure.
Both the teams have done a wonderful job of explaining positives and negatives, good and bad of all social media, Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or Twitter, of all those things. Okay. Now we have to come to terms like how much is good. Everything has got good and bad. It is balanced. How much social media presence in our life is good. Okay. So maybe I would like to hear both the teams' opinions on that. How much is good, or what is the limit, or what is best?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Really insightful. Thank you both so much. Okay, so now I will start the time for 2.5 minutes. Try to incorporate all the thoughts and questions that they've been answering in your final speech. Right? So the timer starts now. Okay, time has elapsed. Are both sides ready actually? With all their points? You guys are both ready? Okay, awesome. So I'm going to start with the 4-minute timer, and first we'll hear from the pro side.
Okay, so to reiterate, we're from the pro side, and we believe that social media does increase communication, not just through means of personal lives, but also like professionally. As Auntie said here, medically, it's greatly impacted and influenced how we get medical research easily available across the globe because everyone needed help during such a crazy crisis. It's fast, it's effective. I think that's one of the main points of why social media is greatly used. It's easy to talk to one another. It's easy to ask a question really quick to a friend. Hey, can you send me homework? Hey, do you think you want to do this tomorrow? Or a teacher, can you explain this question to me? Can you let me know if tomorrow the test is going to be about this or this? Not only does it do personally, but again professionally. You can go up to businesses or companies, say, hi, I have qualifications of this sort, and would you be open to looking to let me apply to this position? So it's just it all depends on how it can be used. Of course, there is always pros and cons to a side or to a topic, and so it all depends on what perspective you see in it. It all depends on how it's used, how effective it's used, how in terms of miscommunication, how someone can correctly analyze the information that's present. And I don't know, it all depends on what you do with the information that's given, what you do with the resources that you're given. If someone takes the social media and uses it for bad uses, that's entirely onto them. That's entirely of how one perceives their power in social media. To answer your question about the insecurities that social media can promote, I agree that social media does, it can increase insecurities, whether that be from like your oneself or feeling left out, feeling isolated, FOMO. It's all like big issues that everyone from my age group, I believe, faces. But also, I feel like as social media is growing, especially I'll use TikTok for example. TikTok has been an insanely growing app, and I think that compared to when I used TikTok maybe a year or two ago, it's nothing like how TikTok is being used now. And I think that as more people, join social media and they join these platforms, everyone has a voice. And people can use this voice for good things, so such as they can, make movements. Last year, the Black Lives Matter movement has been the biggest thing that we've seen as a country. It has divided us in some ways, it has united us in some ways, but because of social media, because of seeing these riots or seeing these rallies to help and support this community that was in need, one can see that maybe yes, I'm from this community, and maybe things are not going as I thought they would be, but I can see that all these people are isolated. All these people are together, they are with me, and so I think that with movements coming through, people having a voice through social media, it'll greatly increase communication through those means. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, very well said. And now we'll end off the debate with the spokesperson from the con side.
Okay, so like Uncle said over there, social media does have a positive influence on people as a community, especially when it comes to large efforts in order to help someone in need, like with a relief fund or a GoFundMe. It's easy to send a link to someone, ask them for $5, and then as a total you have 500,000. But it's the little things that count that add up and they overflow. Like for example, when you're on your phone too much, you lose your communication skills. I've found myself many times using text slang and saying "you are" instead of "your" in my essays. And if you bring that sort of inhibitions that social media provides you, if you bring that to your essays, if you bring that to college interviews, to job interviews, it starts to ask the question, how am I succeeding? How is social media improving me, and how is it going to improve my life? And then if you add that and apply it to everyone, and everyone in this room, for example, and if you spread the impact of social media, then you're also spreading the way that it's stopping us from being better. It's causing us to have lazy language. It's causing us to stop. It's causing us to lose our sense of communication that we've had for so long. It's the reason why, like Helen Auntie was saying, like how I'm sure many of us have been told, oh, if you have COVID, do this, this, and this, and have garlic or whatever, and then you'll be good to go. I've heard that so many times. I was even able to trick my parents into thinking that samosa would be the issue, or would be the solution. But obviously that's not the case. That's why the solution isn't just to stop using social media. Obviously with a growing age and with the way that it's having such a large impact in us and our future, especially with this generation, the answer is not to just cut it out. Obviously you want to work together with the pro side and implement social media in a positive way. And the only answer to that is balance. Like going back to what we said about screen times. Having screen times, limiting your use, and just being mentally aware of what you're seeing, so that if you do see someone online with abs and it seems like they're having the best life, it's so that you have the right mental capacity to realize, okay, but that person also has struggles in life and needs to relate through that. So once again, the answer is not to cut it out completely, it's just to find a balance. Thank you.
Awesome. Can we get one more round of applause for all our participants? Yeah. Okay, so just to get some final closing thoughts from me, I thought that both sides spoke very, very well. And considering social media is a very hot topic recently, especially, and everywhere you look, there's always debates on whether it's useful or whether it's like poisoning the younger generation or whether it's like a blessing in disguise, all these sorts of aspects are true. I feel like even though we did have a pro and con side today, I feel like points on both sides are valid in the terms of social media can be seen and can be utilized in a very positive manner, but can also be destructive and sort of this, have this really destructive potential, especially when it comes to communication. You know what I mean? When it comes to interpersonal communication, when it comes to talking one-on-one, when it comes to friends not talking to each other, or losing that sort of personal touch with social media, or whether it comes to people from across the globe gaining a better connection through social media, through these online digital platforms. I feel like it really depends on how you look at it, and I thought both sides spoke very well today, and I thank you all for being cooperative and making this a very productive debate. So thank you all so much, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone. I really want to appreciate all of you guys, and especially all of you guys who joined with us today. It was really a hot topic, I would say. And last but not the least, I really wanted to say something. We have a small token of appreciation for you all. Please accept it with our sincere thanks. And I would like to invite Dr. Elizabeth Maman Prasad to present our moderator, Arin, this bouquet. And we have participation certificate for you. And I'd like to invite Malini Nair to present an award for Anuva Kota. Next, I would like to invite Rukmini Padmakumar, and we are going to present an award for Sanjana Kalod. Next, I would like to invite John Sampson. We are going to present an award for Purvi Shekhar. And I would like to invite Nina Suthi. She's going to present the award for Raina Robinson. Now, I'd like to invite Daisy Thomas, and she's going to present the award for Gaurav Nair. Next, I would like to invite Dolama Panikya. She's going to present to Mehreen Kaur. That's it. Thank you so much, and thank you. Everyone, you guys want to say something? And I know, this most of them, especially, I really wanted to congratulate you guys because you guys really saved me, because last moment you guys joined with us and it was really a wonderful show. You guys did a great job, I should say. Thank you so much.
academically with the debate. So I think this has been a really nice experience that I definitely look forward to doing something.